Thank you, Nina Foundation, and thank you all the trustees for choosing me as a Rockstar awardee. I don't know if I'm really inspired. This was not my aim to be an inspiration to anybody. My aim in life was to lead as normal a life as possible. That is what I strive to do, and I think I was successful, mainly because of my parents, of my brother, and my sister. I was always treated as a very normal part of the family. Neither my parents, nor my sister or brother were ever. So, I'm sorry, but none of them are around except my sister.
Can we have Dr. Shakuntala on stage as well, please? Your sister, her sister. Please come up on stage.
In fact, I think my parents were instrumental in making me very independent, ensuring that I went to a normal school. We hear a lot of inclusive education now, but when at that time those words were not there. You attended a school and along with everybody else. And I was, I think, among the very lucky people. Whoever was involved, like I went to a school, the teachers were very good. They ensured that the classes were on the ground floor. Nobody said, oh, we can't do this for you, we can't do that for you. No. It was always there was a lot of attitudinal support, you know. So I led a very normal life. Not only in going to school, but then college, then I did my CA, and I have to tell you, I was the only girl, and all the other were 12 boys. And wherever I went to do my, 3 years of every day, my father would leave me at the office, wherever it was, wherever we did audits and things like that. And not one single place was accessible. Toilets were all with, bolts up and all that. And I never hesitated to ask my male friends to please stand outside the door, make sure nobody else comes in, because none of the officers had a separate toilet for women. There was a toilet, all men and women used the same toilet. So it was very important because I couldn't bolt the thing, I had to ask my male friends. And not one of them ever hesitated to say, Chandra, we'll stand outside. So that was the kind of support I received all through my college, my articleship. And then when I went into the bank, I think, Central Bank, I was in Central Bank of India. It was a very respected Parsi institution at that time and known to be one of the very best. Yet in northern India, and I have to say that there were lots of people who resented the fact that I was a woman, and in a very short time I was ahead of them. In fact, there were 2 instances when I gave a lecture on balance sheet, how to read a balance sheet, how to do this, how to do that. So they all asked me, took 3 years to do your, do you think in 3 hours we'll understand a balance sheet? I said, excuse me, I'm just telling you what is relevant to the banking system on this. I'm not asking you to learn, do 3-year course of CA. But that there was a mindset that I had only 2 years of service at that time. That just 2 years, and I was giving lectures to guys who had 25 years of service and who said, I have 25 years of service in the bank, I'm a branch manager, you have just joined the bank. And I had to, that was the kind of attitude I had to overcome. Then there was a guy who was posted under me, and he comes and tells me, ma'am, मैं आपको कुछ बोलूं तो आपको गुस्सा तो नहीं आएगा, ऐसे क्या बोल ही दो जो भी बोलना है. He says, you know ma'am, you have taken away a job from a man who would have supported his family for whatever. Whereas you don't even need to earn. You come from a good family. I said, no, that's not the point. The point is that I need to be financially independent. So I need the job just as much as anybody else. And number one. Number two, I'm qualified for this job. Nobody has given me this job out of sympathy, compassion, or whatever else. I came in the merit list in the chartered accountancy. I joined in a mainstream. I was not given a job because of my disability. I was given a job because of my ability. And that's what I would like to tell all the people here in the wheelchair, that don't focus on your disability. Focus on your ability. Focus on excelling. Focus on excelling in whatever you do. That is the way to move forward. The very fact that you're alive today, I think it speaks a lot to your courage. You have the courage and the ability to succeed, and if you have the will to succeed. And today, there are a lot more opportunities. Previously, in school, you had to decide whether you're going to do science or arts or whatever. Now, whatever you were doing before, you could learn a new trade or a skill or a profession or whatever. That opportunity is there thanks to the IT industry. One should make full use of that. Another thing I'd like to remind you all, I don't know how many of you heard of Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking physically can't do anything, including breathing. I mean, he has to have a ventilator. He can't speak. He has a voice synthesizer. Of course, he's in a position to command all that, what today's technology can offer. I know you and I cannot. We don't have the money. But whatever we can, I'm sure things will improve, and you will be able to use all that technology for your benefit. And what you have to remember is the mind is the most important thing. If your mind is working, focus on using that. It doesn't matter if your legs don't work, you have 4 wheels to go around. In fact, this is one of the things which they told me in England. So remember that legs are for walking. You don't do anything else except walk with your 2 legs. I mean, basically, you think with your brain, you do things mostly with your hands. If you can't use your hands, you still can work with your brain. That is what Stephen Hawking has shown to the world, that his mind, he's acknowledged as the best world-renowned physicist because of his thinking power, not because he can't do this or that or whatever. So please remember, I'm especially saying this to all the quadriplegics here, because I know that lots and lots, 80% of those who are injured with spinal cord injury are suffering from, have a cervical spinal injury, which means your arms are weakened. But your minds are working. Please use that. Be determined, and I'm sure all of you will have a successful life. And don't count success only in money terms. There is a life, there is what you do successfully. Doesn't necessarily have to translate into money. Although there are a lot of people who say, oh, you're using this kind of a car, so you must be very successful. So I don't consider that the true sign of success. The true sign of success is living a life of whatever you do with courage, with not accepting defeat. That is success to me. And I'm sure all of you here today have shown that in a lot of ways. So please keep it up. And don't be discouraged with any hurdle. Don't think that, oh, this place is inaccessible, I can't do this or I can't do that. There are hurdles. Absolutely, there are hundreds of hurdles. Anything I have to, if I have to go somewhere, I have to think, I have to plan in months ahead and say, oh, toilet has to be like this, there should not be too many steps and things like that. And I have to say, this is only the second or the third time I'm traveling with my sister. I have always traveled alone, abroad and everywhere else. And sometimes, even the airline people say, Madam, why don't you have somebody, a caregiver with you? I said, why should I have? Why should I have when I can do it myself? So that is my attitude. And I think I have enjoyed and I have been lucky because I have had a lot of people. I think I have to acknowledge that lots and lots of people have helped me. Even when I go out and I find there are steps and this and that, I say, Bhai Sahab, please, mujhe help kar do, and they do. Without expecting anything, they help. So I think that there are a lot of people in this world who are very helpful, who don't expect anything, who still come and lend a helping hand. And that's what we have to be grateful for, and forget about all the daily pinpricks of inaccessibility. Some people saying, oh, aap log to ghar mein hi rehna chahiye, aap kyun bahar aate hain? Like when we went to Bangalore and we wanted to see some lion sanctuary or something like that, I said, can't we go in my taxi? He said, nahi, aapko isi mein baithna padega. I said, ye bahut bus, you know, the seat was just less than 12 inches. It's very difficult to sit, and the bus was such a dilapidated thing. It will go up and down like this, and there was every chance I'd fall down. And he says, aapko aana hi nahi chahiye tha, aap kyun aaye? I said, what do you mean kyun aaye? Main dekhna chahti hu lions and tigers ko. This is the first time in my life anybody has said, aap kyun aaye? If you don't help, I mean, I have to write and say that these guys were most unhelpful. So then he said, theek hai, and we made sure that, you know, people would help me to get into the bus, leave the car and my wheelchair somewhere else, and he said, oh, please make sure it's not stolen, things like that. But eventually we did manage to go around. Thank you. I just want to say, please don't lose hope. There are problems, but you have the courage to, I'm sure, to overcome them. Thank you.
That's why she's a rock star. And if we can have our guests up here for a photo opportunity, please. Dr. Tendulkar, Dr. Fernandez, and Shivaji sir, aap bhi zara 1 minute.